This college basketball picks episode is brought to you by the remodeling and romance experts at West Shore Home. Learn more and get free installation of your new door at offers.westshorehome.com/SGPN.
Hi, this is Merrill Hodge, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride, baby.
Cox.
He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog.
Let me be the first to say happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. Very special Valentine's Day edition. If you missed the pre-roll, we got a lot to talk about. Joining us on the line from the college experience. Happy Valentine's Day, Colby Dant.
3 of hearts beat as 1. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing great. We got, if you see the logos up on the screen, this is a ad free presented by West Shore Home. If you've been following us on the podcast, you know, I had been here. They reached out and said
you need to do a better job of laying the groundwork.
Sure.
I think maybe the college basketball heads aren't listening to the Even Money podcast or our football content. Maybe.
Yeah. So couple weeks ago, Ryan, I made a bold statement. I said, for the love of God, if you want to get laid, don't get your wife a door for Valentine's Day. Then
that was in response to Ross telling his audience to get your wife a door for Valentine's Day.
Yes.
So we were two opposite ends of the spectrum there.
Yeah.
One might say heads versus tails.
But the good people at West Shore Home, the romance experts that they are, reached out and they showed me how wrong I was. And Ryan, I did the math because I was having fun, but let's be honest. If you get your wife a brand new door, a remodeled bath, and you don't get laid, you got some problems.
I was just going to mention 2 things. One, pause in the story. When Sean showed me the email sitting in the stadium seats at the Circus Sportsbook, I said, no fucking way.
Yeah, we're like, these guys have a sense of humor. They do.
We've dealt with a lot of ad type people.
Oh my God.
Never have a sense of humor.
No, so many times. You did this wrong. You did that wrong. You can't talk about getting laid during our ad read. West Shore Home, they're leaning into it.
Well, I also would say that I took my initial approach with the wife, and I just fired a link and said, "Hey, anything here interesting to you?"
Well, immediately
hot.
After they reached out and said, we thought the ad, the mention you did with Ross was very funny. We want to advertise. I said, Kramer, this is crazy. They have a good sense of humor. And Kramer's first reaction was, Shelly has been asking about a new door. So his eyes lit up. And again, they're responsible for a ton of happy relationships, happy house, happy wife, happy life. You can learn more and get free installation. Offers.westshorehome.com/SGPN. They even made a commercial totally leaning in to this whole idea. And it's nice job by West Shore Home, Kramer. We got to play this for them.
Are we ready to roll the tape?
Yes, let's roll it.
Okay, are you ready, honey? Happy Valentine's Day.
Is that a brand new door from West Shore Home?
Sure is.
How did you do this?
It's installed in as little as 1 day with 12 months, no interest, and no payments.
Did you say 12 months?
No interest, no payments.
Oh my God!
Well done.
And he's one of those guys who will get penetration.
So again, big ups on West Shore Home. Again, they're presenting this entire episode. You're only going to be hearing about West Shore Home and college basketball picks. Offers.westshorehome.com/SGPN. Seriously, check it out because they have a sense of humor at the very least. Let's go.
Well, it's more about imagine this was the first date, Sean.
Yes.
You want to do a really good job on the first date. So why? So you can have a second date.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, this feels like this could be a long-term, I mean, pun intended with Valentine's Day, but this feels like this could be a long-term marriage.
Oh yeah.
Which,
let them know. Appreciate.
Definitely let them know.
Yeah. Let them know SGPN sent you.
We're still going head to head with Ross.
Yeah.
So
come
definitely,
on. Let's dominate their signups. Love it.
Yeah, tubs, doors, whatever you're into.
Well, like I'm about to say, I mean, I'm looking right now: entry doors, sliding glass doors, patio doors, and don't forget the French doors. All right,
Yeah.
I mean, perfect for Valentine's Day. Those French doors.
I will say that's essentially what the wife is intrigued.
The French door.
No, it's not. It's basically replacing our garage door with something that looks classier than a garage door.
Oh,
and
okay.
So we'll see. I mean, this will turn out. I will say that this also could turn out comically for me because there's nothing I like more than a good construction project.
Well, again, let them do it. Free installation. And I pulled this Valentine's Day stat.
Oh,
this is not courtesy West Shore Home. I did my own research. That there's a strong correlation between backdoor action and a new door from West Shore Home. So if you're looking for some backdoor entry, get a new back door from West Shore Home.
I thought you were going with the fact that oftentimes it's the knob that is leaving a little to be desired on that door. So when
you want a well polished knob, West Shore Home, offers.westshorehome.com/SGPN. All right. We are here not only to celebrate love and West Shore Home, but college basketball. Colby, what's happening, man?
I mean, look, I'm a little disappointed in Georgia last night. It would have been nice to know. Would have been nice to know that say their leading scorer wasn't going to play the game. I mean,
UConn was the other one. I don't think anyone locked up UConn, but
I did.
Oh, you did? Because it was they won by 10, and if you watch the last seconds, like they had the cover.
I got a better number.
Okay.
No,
it was 10. It was 10.5 when we picked it. They won exactly by 10. There was a couple Seton Hall. That was a nice.
There were
cash.
just some disgusting outcomes,
and the Hokies winning outright. Kramer.
Well,
which
I was going to say,
yeah,
disgusting outcomes that didn't matter because. Like I keep telling you, this team is battle tested. This is exactly this is the peak outcome of what, and even this, they had stretches where they played like ass in this game. And so there was a hilarious sequence where both teams just didn't want the ball going back and forth there. But also nice to beat Clemson and the most punchable coach in the country.
Again, if Virginia Tech hits their threes,
I don't think he's as punchable, if I'm going to be completely fair, because John Shire, you probably feel a little bad for his appearance. He's not like the best looking guy. This Clemson coach, he's got the looks, he's got the hair. You just want to give him a good stiff jab.
We need to put out the most. Colby, you always do the battle royale of football coaches, but we need the most punchable faces rankings in college basketball, because there's certainly some guys where you look at them and go, "Man, I want to punch that."
Basketball is also a good sport for the Royal Rumble gimmick with basketball coaches.
I mean, Danny Hurley was going to win everything, right?
I don't know. I mean,
that's a joke. That's a joke. But,
but I'm just saying, it's like everyone had the friend that talked a lot of shit and was a little scrappy, but when it came down to it, they were the instigator more than they were the actual closer.
I got the number one. I think the 1 seed is Oregon State's coach. He took him to the Elite Eight a few years back. Wayne Tinkle. As I met him, I did not realize he was 6'10". And like 200 and some pounds, like maybe 300. Shit. I think he's the 1 seed. I'm just going to go ahead and say he's the 1 seed to dominate. Now he's kind of like a teddy bear, great guy, but I don't know who's taking him down 1-on-1.
Yeah, he looks like a large man.
Looks like a left tackle.
I mean, when you stand next to basketball players and make them all look small, you're a big ass dude.
Yeah. Colby, you said you asked us, and it wasn't I missed it on social, but the Big 12 has a big announcement for flooring. What are they doing for their conference tournament?
Yes. So Brett Yormark is always thinking outside the box. I don't know how. We'll see. They're playing on a glass LED
I have
courts, and which changes per team. So that like the home team, you know, in the video that they shown the Big 12 released, which is perfect, by the way. You know, West Shore Home does something very similar. They have water resistant flooring. They have water resistant flooring options. You know, that we typically install it as part of your bathroom project. But I think it pairs perfectly with West Shore Home.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, pretty. What do you guys think of this? Though I just think weird playing on a glass surface. But I also think for this episode with West Shore Home, I think, hey, why not?
That is kind of a perfect crossover.
While we're talking flooring, my instant thought is we got to bet, especially on the first round of games, all the unders, right? Doesn't that have to be distracting playing on glass? Like I could just see, maybe it won't end up being anything, but just the way the ball dribbles off glass has to be different than the normal like grip of a normal basketball court, right? Like isn't going to be some turnovers, some weird shot lines, some. I just think you're going to feel, and hopefully
who knows about like ACLs, right? I mean,
I mean, knock on wood that there's not a weird injury, but it just seems like so many ways the scoring could go wrong, and it being the Big 12, probably getting some decent totals to begin with. So I think we should keep an eye. Like the first day, I feel like I'm going to be smashing the unders, right?
My first thought is to not think that I think
it might not be huge, but I'm just saying.
Like, so rims and sight lines, I think is going to affect your shooting. I think this is just going to be something that the players will have to adapt to. I wonder with a lot of the younger kids having plenty of experience playing, if you've ever played on the AAU or youth sports circuit, you're playing a lot of basketball games on those kind of temporary, not a traditional wood floor. It's a lot more like a plastic almost. And so I wonder if this won't be that different. Like, okay, it's a new surface. We get used to the new surface. We move on. I see where you're coming from, Sean, but that's definitely not my thought.
You would think though, like let's say they pass it out to you open three and the 3-point line is lighting up.
Now,
that might be a distraction.
How much
right?
are they going to do? Are they going to have the graphics going during the game?
They haven't really explained what, but I would just say the fact that the 3-point line has to be lit up, and also who's going to hack into this and maybe move the 3-point line a little bit, a little bit lower.
I like that idea.
You know, but yeah, I would just think it's just not natural. So you'll just for the first game, you might be like, huh, what is this? So I think we do play the unders.
Yeah, I think it might just at the very least take a little bit getting used to.
I think the lighting could be, you know, if they're using it outside of like timeouts and halftime and like to sync with the music and stuff like that, I think that could get a little weird. I think the idea of the 3-point line lighting up after a shot is made, that's a 3-pointer, could be a fun idea, not as distracting.
If you realize if this hits, this is the future. This will go everywhere. Now it reminds me, and I can't put my finger on where I've seen this. I don't know if it was like a video game in the 90s or like a I don't know, a Schwarzenegger flick or something, but I feel like we've seen a futuristic version of like football or basketball in a movie where it's like this, right? where it's like lit up like this. I don't know if it's maybe Tron. I don't know. I feel like I've seen this. I should have done a deep dive on this pre-episode on that, but
two things you're thinking of, or Colby. You're thinking about Tron in general, the way that the light trails whatever they're driving around, but also in Starship Troopers, I believe, in their like
it could
football,
be that exactly.
Yeah, there was like the idea of like an impact light or something like that. Where, I mean, obviously you can't distract the game. That would be stupid. And if you're a company that's making this, what you're pitching to people is the ability to have a multi-purpose gym that looks nice for every team and can be unique, can include more sponsors. You're not having to rip panels up. You're not painting it, right. Like you're doing it with very low cost with low power lighting. So I'm sure. And while you guys were talking, I was looking, and you know, some of the top teams in Europe, I know it's not NBA, but some of the top teams in Greece, Germany, and in the UK, which is not as good of a league, but they're using these courts, And so, or at least some places have installed these courts. And so I'll take the opposite side of this. I will not be playing any sort of unders. I will be intrigued, but I'm going to go with, especially if the number comes down, because a lot of people are thinking the same thing as you guys. So
we're ahead of the market.
I'll zag when you guys zig.
All right. Enjoy your zig, Ryan.
Now this also will pit, like, this is not good for Colby's fandom of college basketball. Imagine Colby having to watch a game with this bullshit going on. You know what it reminds me of?
I was already mad last year when the Big 12 did their tournament on some weird webbed court.
We were out in Vegas for, I want to say it was Pintandi's bachelor party. And we went out to the pool and we got an area at the pool, but it was like really close to the speakers, and they just go boom, boom, boom. And we all kind of had this moment where we're like, fuck this. I'm going back over to the quiet side. You can't make it too noisy or you're going to piss off some of the fans. I do think, like Colby. So I'll be, now my next thing I want to do is go YouTube one of these Greek or German games to see what they actually look like in use. So. Anyway,
is the crowd gonna have to wear like 3D glasses?
That would be annoying.
I would say that please no. Come on. Basketball can still be basketball.
Let's go. We got a great slate here.
Yeah, and I kind of lied because we're gonna start on Friday night, which is Valentine's Day Eve. Which do we all celebrate? I assume we all celebrate Valentine's Day Eve. We'll be in
celebrate
Vegas.
live at the Circa.
We'll be in Vegas, and actually, the wife will be coming out to Vegas on Saturday. So it'll be a full. I'll have to try to figure out how to work that one. I think you still got to get flowers. Got to pay maybe the concierge. We'll tip the bellhop. We'll get it done. All right, Friday night, and we got some good basketball games here. Cannot wait to wake up from my nap and see Colby getting scolded by Sean with his shitty picks. Madison, Wisconsin plays host to the Spartans and the Badgers. Michigan State -1.5.
This is the only real line we're working with, by the way.
Yeah, rest are projected.
Yeah. So there's that, but you got Wisconsin coming off maybe arguably their biggest win of the season. Wisconsin's a strange team, and they have road wins at Illinois and at Michigan, but they barely can get past Minnesota at home. This team though is definitely intriguing, and they actually have had some success against Izzo in Madison some. So it's just, that's such a huge win. I think you got to go with Sparty here, just because overtime win at Illinois. I'll take Sparty -1.5. I feel like Wisconsin struggled more at home than they've done on the road. They should have won in Bloomington too. So
just keep hitting that stapler.
Yeah, and that wasn't an overtime. That was a regulation win, by the way.
Wisconsin coming off back-to-back OT games. They lost in overtime at Indiana, won in overtime at Illinois.
Okay, I was struggling to remember if that was overtime, but the Indiana game, they got completely robbed. The whistle in the final 30 seconds, they should have probably won that game. But for whatever reason, Wisconsin's been better on the road this year than I feel like at home. So give me Sparty in a gut check game. They had a big win, obviously, against Illinois as well. So both these teams coming off huge wins. I just think the way Sparty rebounds the basketball, and if you look to me, Wisconsin's kind of struggled against the teams that are like offbeat. Well, Michigan State's kind of offbeat, 276 in pace, and they're to me like the old school Big Ten team within the Big Ten. A lot of these teams I think have shifted with the NIL. And play at much different tempos, including Wisconsin. I think Wisconsin's probably the leader at that. Wisconsin used to be like Tony Bennett, where they draw out little amount of possessions, like a triple option team. Now whatever they did, Greg Gard changed things up. They're 161st in pace, 11th in 3-point shooting. So I mean, they have changed their ways 100%. But I still think Sparty can bring them in the muck, and Izzo gets a road win here.
KenPom even has them pace here. I mean, they're 91st in his metric and third fastest playing team in the Big Ten after Michigan and USC, and so certainly different style for Wisconsin.
We should talk about that, because under Greg Gard, like 3 years ago, this is one of the slowest teams in the nation. So for a coach to recognize this and change his whole approach You don't see that much. Normally, you see them fire the coach, bring in a different coach that thinks differently. That's quite fascinating, is what he's done. Being that self-aware of being like, whatever I'm doing, it's not working. So let me try this theory.
Yeah, I mean,
KenPom has Michigan State winning by 4. I mean, their rebounding is so good. And to Colby's point, Wisconsin, yeah, they've been winning, but 7-7 ATS at home. Now, certainly you haven't been a home dog. I don't know if at all this season, but yeah, I'm a little, Wisconsin 0-1 as a home dog. So they haven't been a home dog much this season. I'll take Michigan State. This is going to be a good game. I'll probably just play this on the money line, cause I'm worried this is a 1-point win, as crazy as that sounds. Kramer, what are you doing? You're locking in Michigan State?
Yeah, I'm also going to be on Michigan. I'll be surprised though. I mean, it is interesting to see how far off the market and the other analytics dudes. Torvik has Michigan State by 0.7. And Evan Maya has it by 1.6. So for KenPom to be at 4 here, that also would raise a little bit of an intrigue for me, because the line always converges to KenPom's number. So I'd imagine you want to bet this now if you like Michigan State.
Yeah, good call.
Slide. Another Friday night game here, 6 p.m. on the West Coast. We're in Oxford, Ohio for the we're talking about a MAC team that is undefeated in college.
You're talking about the only college basketball team that is undefeated. One of the best stories going on in the sport is Travis Lexington Steele doing a great job. And look, I'll be the first to say, when Xavier fired him, I thought he deserved it. And when he was at Xavier, I was like, man, these teams were more talented than their final result. And he's making me eat crow, because I was like, I mean, I didn't think it was a bad hire by Miami, Ohio, because it was like you're getting a retread from the Power 5 and maybe he can have success. But I did not foresee 24-0. I mean, to be undefeated on Valentine's Eve is the best story in the sport right now. And obviously, no one's gone undefeated since 1976, I think it was, with Bobby Knight, UNLV being pretty darn close, Kentucky being pretty darn close. This is just fantastic. I had to put this one on there just because of this, the pressure building. And here's the thing, guys, Travis Lexington Steele's been outspoken about this. No one would schedule. They were returning a bunch of production, which is so rare these days, because normally when you're a good basketball team, which Miami, Ohio was last year, and you're a mid-major, the big schools come in and steal your guys. Well, he was able to keep the team intact, but no one wanted to schedule him. Nobody wanted to schedule him because
scared.
Of that. Yeah.
I mean, you look at Miami's offense, and then Ohio's defense is just, how do they not light these guys up? Now the counter is, hey, they're going to slip up somewhere. This is a big spread. Like that's kind of the case for Ohio, but Ohio has not been good on the road. Even ATS 3-6 ATS. Can you make a case for Ohio, or is it just Miami until they start messing up?
Well, I do believe like Ohio, Jeff Bowles is a really good coach. It wasn't that long ago that we saw them beat Virginia in the NCAA tournament. But this is one of their worst teams of late. But Miami, Ohio has had moments where they've been playing with their food, or just getting. I don't even know if it's playing with their food. They're just, when you've won 24 straight, go back and look at the Buffalo
some bad games. Yeah,
both Buffalo games. I mean, the first Buffalo matchup, I think it was like mid-January. They needed a buzzer beater. Buffalo was up 3. They needed a buzzer beater to get it to overtime, and then another buzzer beater to win it, or to get it to double overtime, and then they won it there. But that's kind of been the theme of this thing. So like, I actually think, I don't think they're going to lose this game. I think the one you circle now is probably the return game when they go to Athens on March 6th, but or maybe UMass on Tuesday. I think that UMass actually probably should have beat them the first matchup in Oxford. I'll still take the points though. I'll still take the points, because I just think the pressure on your team from 18 to 22-year-olds or 23-year-olds is immense at this point. So give me the points in the Ohio Bobcats.
I'll lay it. I'm not getting in front of this offense right now. But I understand the case that it's a lot to cover for a team that has a lot of pressure on them for this game. But I think they rip through Ohio. Give me Miami laying the points. Kramer, what are you doing?
put an asterisk next to this Miami of Ohio team as they didn't have to travel to Akron to play my Zips. They got them at home. Yeah, I mean, I will join you and lay the donkey spread here, just because the team's very good. Colby, a nugget was going around about Miami of Ohio during the Super Bowl run up, because as you probably already know, there are 5 schools that have a U.S. president and a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Delaware with Joe Biden and Joe Flacco, Michigan with Gerald Ford and Tom Brady, Stanford with Hoover, Elway and Plunkett, Navy with Carter and Staubach. Miami of Ohio is that other school, Colby, and which of course you remember Benjamin Harrison, our 23rd president, went there, along with another Benjamin, Big Benjamin Roethlisberger, who won the Super Bowl. The fun fact about Miami of Ohio, though, is they're if you add in Super Bowl winning head coach, they become the only school on the list.
Because what I mean, you got multiple. I think.
Can you name the head coaches that went to Miami of Ohio? There are 3 of them.
You could add in national championship coaches too. Well, Paul Brown, I think, is one, right? Paul Brown.
No, Super Bowl winning head coach.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, that doesn't count for NFL championship.
This is Super Bowl only.
John Harbaugh. I'm sorry.
John Harbaugh. Correct. The great John Harbaugh.
After that, that's where it gets tricky. What about, cause I know what Woody Hayes and Schembechler went there. So they're deep in coaching history.
Sean McVay. You should have known that one.
I did not know that.
That little fucking weasel.
Wait, Miami's great university.
Hold on. I believe Broadway Joe's coach went there.
Wow. Insane pull.
Yeah.
Do you know his name?
I do. I'm trying to think of it right now. It's like Weeb
Eubank.
Yes. I knew that. You know, they have a statue of him at the stadium there. That's why.
Trying to teach you more than just basketball here.
Yeah.
Anyway, that pretty great. Shout out to the Miami of Ohio. Steeped in history. Clemson, Duke. We are now on to Saturday, and as Colby reminded you earlier, these are all projected by Mr. Pick Dundee. Clemson coming off that tough loss against my Hokies. They're in Dookie land now, which be careful, because this Duke team, they were recently emotionally and physically harmed, and we hope they can make it through to the end of the season. Duke's laying 9.5 here in Durham. Clemson bounce back spot, right?
It's scary that's just in Durham though, because we kind of predicted that Clemson, their schedule, they have to go to Chapel Hill, I think, in like a week.
March 3rd. Yep.
Yeah.
Clemson hasn't been particularly strong off bounce back. They're only 2-2 ATS after a loss. Duke in general, though, hasn't dominated as a home favorite. This number, I think, is probably a little short at 9.5. I think Duke's the play here, even though Clemson's coming off that loss. What are you doing, Colby?
No, this is my opportunity to say Duke will be up big all game, but I'm looking for a West home backdoor cover late. So I will take Clemson to get a backdoor cover. Duke wins by 9. All right.
I like that.
Very
This
specific.
backdoor brought to you by West Shore Home. offers.westshorehome.com/SGPN. It feels like Duke rolls. At the very least, I'm getting a good number. This is like when we picked at the Duke last Friday.
Can I make a prediction? I think Ross and Fezzik will be having a backdoor cover of the week next year on the podcast. Yeah, I mean, you can't take Duke. The whole case for the Virginia Tech game was they were looking ahead to Duke, which means they're still focused on the Duke game, which means we're taking Clemson.
Because it's a backdoor cover. You bullied me into Clemson.
Well, I don't even think. I think it could be a front door.
I'm
cover.
not betting this until the. I mean, well, obviously the line's not
to a backdoor.
The line's not. My prediction is you'll be getting double digits at least.
If you're focused on the backdoor and you fail, you're going to be sad. Why not just be open to whatever door is available to you?
Yeah, find an open hole.
I mean, even if
door.
it's maybe a window,
Whatever it is.
side door. Who knows?
Talk me into Clemson.
Crease in the drywall. TCU, Oklahoma State. We're heading to Stillwater. Well, another 9 a.m. tip here. I have been enjoying. There is something different about the cadence of college basketball compared to college football. When I come home and I walk the dogs and then I eat some breakfast and start falling asleep on the couch. College basketball pairs better with it. I do think a little bit more excitement that you can kind of wake up to in spurts. TCU, Oklahoma State, and great logos. If you're not watching on YouTube, you're going to want to do that. Horned Frog is looking very fierce. Oklahoma State laying 2.5.
I mean, this to me is a lock on Oklahoma State. You're not going to be able to talk me out of Oklahoma State because TCU just stormed at Iowa State. This is an Oklahoma State, 2 tough losses in Arizona. Now you're back home with the team who just stormed. Isn't that a perfect formula for Oklahoma State?
Yeah, well, this game is gigantic. This game, you could argue, is probably the most important game that we're going to talk about because both teams, Oklahoma State, they stormed their last home game here, which was back on February 4th against BYU. But after that, they hit the road lost at Arizona. Okay, no big deal. But that was like basically after beating BYU, you think you know a lot of people were saying, "Hey, we think Oklahoma's going to be on the inside of this field." But then they lose in Tempe to Bobby Hurley. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now it's like, whoa, where are they? They're probably back on the outside. But then on the other side of things, TCU was a team that has been on the outside mainly because that loss to Master P's No Limit Soldiers against New Orleans early in the season, right? And they just stormed the court and get a marquee win against Iowa State, which I think has a lot of bracket projectors saying, well, TCU right on the cusp of being on the inside or the first 4 out. It's a gigantic game here as far as teams trying to make the tournament. You feel like one of these teams will, but I'm with you. I think this environment that Oklahoma State has is and this has kind of been like a renaissance. For the past couple of years, they just had not really had a great home environment. But you see, winning breeds also having a terrible season in football. So this is your West Home remodeling project that's been happening here in Stillwater, and I will take Oklahoma State to handle business at home in a I think maybe the most important game of the day.
2 teams that are incredible ass on the road.
Yeah,
that's the handicap.
Yeah.
So which team's not on the road? Oklahoma State. Cool. I'll lay the points. Sorry, Jamie Dixon. Great. He is his hair. It's looking more and more like an aging vampire. I mean,
it's not very complimentary.
I mean, no disrespect, Jamie. UCLA, Michigan. We're heading to Ann Arbor, which means Mick Cronin will not be happy about the travel situation. Is this tip time correct, Colby? 9:45 a.m.
Wait, real quick.
Yes.
Did you see the video of Mick Cronin talking about what kind of players he wants? The hardest, vodka drinking Eastern European big motherfuckers or whatever.
He wants the Illinois team.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, hey, are you slugging vodkas and ripping heaters? Then you have a spot in UCLA. He says all this stuff that kind of undermines his team and their travel spots. Like, doesn't that get in your head if the coach is always complaining about how tough the travel is and how what other types of guys he wants on his roster? I can't imagine that helps.
I mean, he bitches about anything, dude. You know what I mean? But I get it. Some of his point is maybe he was late to the changing landscape of college sports, where it seems like almost every team's got a European guy. That's the one thing about the Bediako ruling. They ruled against him, thankfully. Yeah. But at the same time, I do think like if he takes this to court again, I am intrigued about the case of like, how can you let a pro from Europe come in?
Yeah, no,
but
it's Yeah, I agree he shouldn't be playing, but I also kind of agreed with Alabama's point when they said there's been all these other players you are allowing. Like, what is the rule? Why did these other pro players get a play and not our guy? So in a weird way, it almost made Alabama sympathetic, as much as I don't think he should be playing, if that makes sense, because the rules don't make any sense.
Yeah, a lot of people like came out against Alabama. And look, and I think they're in the wrong too. But I also think like, how can you give them a hard time when they see Illinois or whatever, or some of these teams that have like 28-year-old European guys that have been playing professionally in Europe? What's the difference at that point?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does seem like we treat the European path differently than our path. Some of that is because these kids are going to high school and quote unquote playing pro at an academy.
And Bediako played at Alabama before. That's the one thing you say. Well, wait a second. He was at Alabama. He left early. But if they grab somebody else from the G League, that hasn't had college experience, because that's really the only difference is these Europeans have never had college experience, right?
Yeah, I think there's the also the element of like, if you declare, that should be you voiding any further eligibility to play at the college level. And so that would be, it would give the Europeans the angle of like, well, they never declared to go into the NBA. And so maybe you can treat it as, cause college ball is probably somewhat similar to pro ball in a lot of European countries. So they're almost like level anyway. Yeah. Also, I just in general. So Mick Cronin, he was an assistant under Bob Huggins, correct? Which, yes. By the way, you got that documentary looks fucking amazing. Have you seen the trailer for it?
Hopefully, you get like Mac walking around in the B-roll, maybe.
Yeah. 2, he also coached under Rick Pitino.
He did.
So the way that he behaves on the microphone should not surprise anybody.
No.
But yeah, I think the difference is that Pitino, he has a look that maybe you wouldn't want to fuck with. And Bob Huggins is a big motherfucker who also has a look that you might not want to fuck with. Meanwhile, Mick Cronin's this like Weasley, bald, pale white guy who you're just like, fuck you. Give me Michigan.
I mean, UCLA has not been good on the road. 2-4 ATS. Michigan kind of I don't know if you call it a bounce back game, but Northwestern was hanging around with them. It was like tied going into the fourth.
Yeah, I mean to the second half. But Northwestern had a halftime lead, man. Going late into that game, Northwestern had been the team that was kind of dictating the lead. They were the ones up. It was a gut check game for Michigan, and they responded well. I'll take the points in UCLA. I'm assuming Sky Clark's going to play for the Bruins here. He's a game time decision, but Michigan has at Purdue on deck. And as much as I know UCLA is a name brand in college basketball, I don't know if it's moving the needle as much as recently within the Big Ten as what Coach Painter's built there in West Lafayette. So I think Michigan can stay within the number. I think UCLA can stay within the number in Ann Arbor. So yeah, I think the Wolverines will win and everything, but give me the Bruins and the points.
Yeah, I like your look ahead angle because they got Purdue Tuesday, so that's a quick turnaround. I'll take UCLA with you in the points, even though they haven't been great on the road against the number.
Yeah, I guess the main disagreement would they really haven't had a Mick Cronin complain about the travel spot against a good team other than the Iowa spot, which they got rolled a little bit. So yeah, I'm gonna stay on the chalk. Good luck. Not so much, but good luck.
Thank you.
Texas A&M, who let me down the other day, taking on Vanderbilt in Nashville, 10 a.m. tip on the West Coast. Colby using the same Texas A&M logo 2 shows in a row. That's interesting. Meanwhile, he's got this Vanderbilt Commodore. This looks like a guy who's about to take control of a back door. He's going to commandeer that back door and have his way with it. Colby, what are we doing here in Nashville? Vanderbilt laying 9.5.
This is kind of 2 of the darlings in the SEC, and this is why I think we're in this special era of college athletics where you just put together these teams. Historically, have been basketball doormats, and A&M was in first place over the past 2 weeks in the SEC. Now they've hit a rough
lost
patch
3
here,
in a row. Yeah.
But the team that was in first place probably the longest of the season maybe was Vanderbilt. They've been hit with the injury bug with Duke Miles and Frankie Collins, but they still Mark Byington. It's amazing to think James Madison had Mark Byington and Kurt Cignetti at the same time. Remember, Mark Byington won at Sparty. Like, I mean, he's done just. This is arguably like the best coaching job in college basketball. Do you remember how bad Vanderbilt was under Jerry Stackhouse, the previous coach? And
Very bad.
He keeps doing this. His roster's getting depleted right in front of our very eyes. They just went to the jungle and beat Auburn like wire to wire at Auburn with, arguably two of his better players out. I mean, very impressive what Vanderbilt is doing there. And I'm buying in like Buckyball. Byington's in year 2 at Vanderbilt and Bucky McMillan's in year 1 at A&M. He's already kind of peaked to me. They've lost 3 in a row. This is that fucked up court, right? I think that alone it makes it a little more challenging than some of the other courts, but the crowds have been absolutely lit there in Nashville. I'm gonna lay it with Vanderbilt here, as I think there's blood in the water with this Texas A&M program.
I'm going to push back. Texas A&M has been good on the road, 6-1 ATS. I don't know if they win, but I think the desperate nature of losing 3 in a row and a conference game here, I think they get up for this and they keep it within the number. So 9.5 feels like a lot for this Texas A&M team.
I'm not going to push back, Colby. Give me Vanderbilt minus 9.5. Quick pause to return to the Friday game because we do have a Miami of Ohio number now just opened. And does your opinion change if I tell you the number is 9.5?
For me, no, because I'm on Miami of Ohio.
Colby?
No, I'm still on the Bobcats. I think I still think you're looking at this one is a clear cut West home backdoor cover. Yeah, I think I just feel like there's too much pressure.
Is still there, even though the back door is a little tighter. He's still calling for a backdoor entry with a fresh door from West Shore home.
Yes, and speaking of, again, they are leading to romance and love. West Shore home. Again, if you love a good backdoor for your home, West Shore home has you covered. We have a fertility crisis. The population is collapsing. I
saw that.
Hey, get your wife a nice little home renovation.
Yeah, he's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Next thing you know, we got more kids on the way, courtesy of West Shore Home. They might single-handedly turn this tide on population collapse when she sees her new door. She won't be able to deny you. I love this graphic. I love you. I mean, chicks, say what you will. Chicks do dig. 12 months interest free financing.
I've never considered door replacement.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Again, if your knob's unpolished, maybe you get a nice polished knob from West Shore Home. Find out more over at offers.westshorehome.com/SGPN. Offers.westshorehome.com/SGPN. So they know we sent you. Shout out to West Shore Home.
And see again, front door, back door. You don't want to limit yourself to the type of door you're going.
They have a variety of doors.
You might be disappointed.
They're freaks.
Yeah. No, I mean, again, who knows? You get one of those tiny doors. You run into that. Who knows? St. John's. Patino's got something. I will say I did enjoy watching the St. John's UConn game from the other day. St. John's laying 5.5 here against Providence up in Rhode Island. 10 a.m. tip. Amazing how quickly Providence became non-threatening and docile as a program.
Well, they hired a guy, in my opinion, that wasn't qualified for the job. We talked about this on the College Basketball Experience when it happened. When they hired Kim English, no disrespect to Kim, I just thought he hadn't done a great job yet with George Mason. He had made them more athletic and more talented, but the wins hadn't really transpired. So I thought they just I thought it was a rather lazy hire, and I don't think he was ready for that moment yet. And it's showing, even though they have one of the better home court environments in the whole conference, let alone the whole nation. But this is remember Patino coached at Providence back in the day, so intriguing matchup always there with him coming back to the scene of the crime where he had Billy Donovan as his guard. Doesn't this seem like a slippery spot for the Johnnies though? They just played gigantic games against UConn and then his son. So I just feel like
the counter is UConn, where he even told his guys, "Hey, don't worry, the curfew's like 5 a.m. Go out, celebrate, enjoy." They did. They almost got snaked by Xavier at home. Wasn't Xavier the wake up game for this Johnnies team? If you're making a case for him.
I mean, yeah, but that's still against his son and stuff. So you wonder, but I mean, I keep seeing. Do you guys follow Patino's Twitter account? It's hilarious. I feel like he's at like a great Italian restaurant like every night. There's like multiple bottles of wine. You can see some old like.
What's wrong with that?
No, I just think it's fantastic. Every place he shouts it out. So I wonder if they're connected to the NIL. But I also shouted out his places I'm going to in New York City. I have a little list here on my notepad of places we're gonna have to hit when we hit NYC next. I don't know. I just feel like the line seems short here. Give me the Friars in that lit environment. I just think St. John's is due for an extremely close game. And this is to me, it's just, there's no drama in this one besides, I guess, the fact he used to coach here in the 80s. So Providence has been hurting. I think they show up for this game. Johnny's may win, but they're going to get more than they bargained for here.
Clark in the chat pointing out they lost at the Garden to PC earlier. They'll be ready. Yeah, that's part of,
that is a good point. That is a good point.
I think revenge, unlike a nice chicken parm, revenge is best served cold. So
actually, I think, Benedict that for me. I forgot about that. I forgot about they lost the first matchup.
Yeah. This is the motivation. And again, I think the Xavier was like the wake up scare that they needed coming off that Monday game. So yeah, I'll take the Johnnies laying the 5.5. Kramer, what are you doing?
He's been pretty open about how impactful that short time in Providence was for him, and how I think he's used some pretty grand words when he's spoken about what Providence means to him. I think he'll be focused, between the revenge, between the diners, between.
Do you know who his assistant was at Providence?
We need to know who is his assistant.
Jeff Van Gundy.
Oh wow, good nugget, Colby. We need a diners, dive-ins, and drives with Patino, where he just reviews, but it's all diners.
Yeah, and it's just him reviewing the waitresses.
Yeah,
it's not the food at all.
Great ass. Kramer, are you on? It sounds like you're on the Johnnies.
Yeah, of course. Patino as played by Al. Patino played by Al Pacino.
As Pacino.
Imagine him as like the almost like over the top hacky version of him. Just
it'd be perfect.
Doing Pacino screams all the time. Patino and Pacino. It just goes. All right. So we're all on St. John's, obviously. We're out on Providence until further notice. Kansas heading to Ames, 10 a.m. Wow. 10 a.m. tip on the West Coast in Ames, Iowa. Iowa State laying 3.5. I mean, Kansas, as Colby shared with Sean less than a week ago, contender win the national championship. Obviously huge win very recently at home. Now they're on the road though. Colby
and Iowa State just got stormed on in Fort Worth. Going back, I mean, look, Kansas drilled Iowa State at the Fog by 21 back in, mid-January. We know Darren Peterson's got the flu, allegedly.
I mean, I saw some of that video. What are we doing?
He's warming up.
What are we doing?
If you have the flu, then are you contagious? Then you should be. I mean, come on, that's clown stuff. I don't understand the headspace where he's at. But to me, as a guy who likes to lean into situation spots, you got Iowa State after getting stormed on, Kansas off the huge win. It sets up for a good spot for Iowa State. What am I missing, Colby?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. You got to take Iowa State here. I just feel like the way that Kansas beat them down, and that wasn't that, like I said, I think it was like January 15th, give or take. It wasn't that long ago. I think that's got to be, and Iowa State's been a top 10 team all year. I think that's got to stick in their memories. And then when you consider, we don't know if Peterson's playing. We also know that Iowa State just got stormed on in this place. It's funny. I think I talked on the Grand Canyon thing when we previewed them the other day as having like the third or fourth best college environment. I think I would actually push that back a little bit because I forgot about Iowa State. Hilton Magic is a real fucking thing. This venue is premier. So I think with that crowd behind them and the uncertainty with everything going on with the Jayhawks roster, give me Iowa State there. I'll lay the number.
Game is won on the glass. Give me Iowa State.
Let's go.
Villanova heading out to beautiful Nebraska to take on Michael Creighton. 11:30 a.m. here on the West Coast. Nova 3.5 point favorites, I'm just going to be a sucker for taking Creighton at home.
They've been not
until the wheels.
They've been not
fall
good
off.
at home.
I think one wheel's already fallen off. Colby,
I'm with you, man. Nova probably should have lost the other night. The credit to Kevin Willard's team, gut check game against Marquette, where they battled back. I felt like Marquette was actually probably the better team if you watch that whole game. And Creighton just lost at the buzzer to DePaul in a game they were up. So it was a pretty.
DePaul's back, baby.
no, they're not.
Well, they're way better than they've been previous years.
Holtman has got that program. The trajectory is going up. All right, with Cannabis Capper, who's writing these fire articles over at sportsgamblingpodcast.com.
Shout out to him.
That's
He's
his
been
team.
on he's been on a great run over at sportsgamblingpodcast.com. 14-4 run with his college basketball.
He's a
picks.
DePaul guy.
He's from Chicago, so yeah, DePaul guy.
Private school
I think he went to school there. Yeah. So
Creighton's not been good at home. 4-9 ATS.
Yeah, I'm all over Creighton here, man. The way they lost, and this is that strange road trip for the old school Big East teams like Villanova.
Yeah,
all over it.
Give me the Cats.
Yeah.
Give me the Cats. This is our year. Let's go, Nova.
I'll lay
the 3.5.
Be careful. Well, you're.
I'm laying it.
Be careful.
I'm careful, Ryan.
DePaul. DePaul's not back either. That was a misstatement by you. Give me.
I mean, is Colby? Are they not way better than they've been previous years?
Yeah, Chris Holtman's done a good job, man, getting that talent level better, and I think there's some energy behind the program. They're talking about. I think they got some donations for their basketball stadium renovations and stuff. So like, I do believe there's momentum behind that. They're heading in for the first time in a long time. They're heading in the right trajectory. And remember, next year they're gonna the influx of the money because they don't have a football program, so they're gonna be able to have that. I think that right there. I know that everybody in the Big East will have that, but I still think they're in Chicago. They should be much better. Yeah.
They're a game up on Xavier, Providence, Butler, and Marquette in the division in the Big East standings, and I think they play all of those teams still. So they're still going to finish last. Don't worry, Sean. All right, moving over to Kentucky and Florida. This is that great. What was it? Pain and Gain, the movie about the two brothers who brought
with former SGPN guest Mark Wahlberg.
yes. Surprisingly good, interesting movie. Anyway, the pipeline from Kentucky to Florida is very real. Gainesville plays host to this one. Kentucky catching 11.5. I think I just have a blind spot for Florida. I think I'm starting to realize
still good.
It's very hard for me to pick Florida in football or basketball, but anytime I watch them play, it's like they're just clearly the better team most of the time.
Well, the thing yesterday, obviously Georgia was out there leading scorer, but also they were they were on fire from three for their standards. That was on fire because we had hit on how bad of a 3-point shooting team they are. What currently they have moved up. They were 359th before the Georgia game. They're now 353. So why that matters is a team that is shot that bad at three.
Yeah, I know.
Has never gone past the Sweet 16.
Oh,
yeah, it'll catch up to them eventually.
So
it seems like.
Yeah, you would think, but Florida, I do think they've looked better and better throughout the season, and clearly they're shooting better as of the game there in Athens. But it's still Kentucky's been weird. I feel like on the road they've actually
2-4 ATS on the road. Kentucky.
Yeah.
So they might be getting some wins, but yeah.
But like the game at Arkansas, I thought was impressive. When they went to Arkansas and won out right there against Calipari. So I'll take the points in Kentucky, but just because I do feel like they're playing better. This is their best version of Kentucky we've seen this year. I think around this past couple weeks. So
this is tough because I feel
yeah.
I'm kind of with you, Colby, but I feel so dumb fading Florida because they're still pretty good, second in the nation offensive rebounding percentage. But if we expect some regression from all those threes they hit the previous game, opens up the West Shore back door here for Kentucky. So I'll take Kentucky plus 11.5.
So some context. They are horrible at shooting the three, but they're also very non-dependent on the three. They're only they're only scoring 25% of their points with the 3-pointer, as compared to the top teams in the country. They're closer to 45%. And so they're an elite team on the inside. They're an elite rebounding team, and that's what allows them to throttle teams. Is that they're just going to win the glass. And if they win the glass, that means less possessions for Kentucky and more possessions for them and more easy buckets. That's why they rate so highly scoring in the paint. And so, yeah, give me Florida. I did some self scouting. I realized I was a hater.
Yeah, you know what? Give me no. I'll stick with Kentucky. The 3-point will regress enough to make the difference in the cover.
You're calling for some regression. They did jump like 5 spots in the Ken Pom rating for 3-point percentage after one game. Miami, Florida. That just shows you what happens when your data is near the boundary, Sean. Miami of Florida. We've talked about multiple Miami squads on this. Well, Colby knew it was a big backdoor episode, so he was like, "Oh, more Miami." Miami of Florida heading to Raleigh to take on NC State. NC State minus 5.5. I was just having a conversation about with someone who was telling me that Raleigh recently ranked as the top place to move, which was interesting to me.
Hey.
A lot of imports to North Carolina, I guess. 1 p.m. on the West Coast. NC State laying 5.5. And if we didn't mention it, the Florida number was projected to be 11.5. So yeah, NC State laying 5.5. What are we doing, Colby?
This I think is my favorite play so far, and it's disgusting because I normally hate taking the pussy pack, but
oh no,
they just lost by 41 to Louisville, and if you know Will Wade, that shit's not gonna fly for Will Wade. Like he's going crazy, I would imagine, after that loss, and then Miami just stormed the court against North Carolina. This is our easiest play so far.
Love fading.
NC State's winning this shit by double digits. This place is gonna burn.
Yeah. No, I'm with Colby. I mean, great situation spot. I mean, just start with fading Miami off the win, and then on the other side, you got NC State off that horrible loss. So this is a lock potential.
How did they give up 118 points? That is impressive. In college basketball,
that's embarrassing.
I mean, they only play for 40 minutes. Sean.
Yeah.
That's almost 3 points a minute. That's absurd. So you're saying it's a bounce back spot?
Will Wade hasn't slept since that game. I guarantee you that. And I mean, look, he's made no mistake. This team he's called out this team a couple different times throughout the season, but you know damn well, like that one, I could just see him just being irate. I mean, he's probably got his wife sleeping at the hotel. He's probably been sleeping at a hotel since then, right? I mean, yeah,
it's grinded tape.
Yeah, I mean. This I think is the easiest. This is a layup on the board here.
Well, and I think it's a get right spot in the same. I mean, you look at the Cal game; they're lazy to defend the 3-point line. I would say Miami, and that's why Cal was able to beat him with a deep shot, just like NC State will. Give me the pussy pack. Purdue and Iowa, 2 p.m. on the West Coast in Iowa City, Iowa. Beautiful Iowa City, Iowa. Iowa catching 2.5 points at home to the Boilermakers. Not sure what this Boilermaker is running to go do. Where'd you find this one, Colby? He's wearing a strange square white cube on his head. He does not look
like a guy at White Castle.
That looks like someone who's going to have his back door worked with. Not going to be getting one for the wife, but it's a self-maintenance. Colby?
Look, I got that from an old program, but
you got to make a library, Colby. Turn one of your rooms into a library.
Just, a library of team logos.
Just if you have old basketball programs, send them to Colby.
Colby, for me, doesn't this make sense? Iowa lost outright at Maryland, game they shouldn't lost. Purdue look ahead spot towards Michigan. I mean, I guess you're not really looking past Iowa at Iowa, but still, it feels like a bounce back spot for Iowa.
No, I'm with you, man. And if you watch the first matchup, Iowa was beating them most of the game in West Lafayette. And Purdue was able to use the crowd to really get them back in the game and be able to win that game. And I just think Ben McCollum is one of the best coaches. I think he's like a top 10 coach in the sport. Iowa, you hate Iowa as a big favorite. That's why we played, Maryland money line there. But as a dog, and they're also 12-1 at home. You said it. Michigan's on deck. Iowa's a top 70 defensive team. Bennett Sturtz is a problem. Even last night when they lost, he still went for over 30. Give me the Hawkeyes I think they win this outright.
Yeah, small spread catching 2.5, but they're gonna get this done. Give me Iowa all day. Kramer.
Yeah, I mean, my only question would be: is Iowa really going to be a dog here? You think? If they are 100%, my model.
I mean,
has
Purdue's
them,
number 13 in the nation. Iowa's not in the top 25, so I would assume. Yeah,
It'll be a close spread either way.
Okay, give me the home dog then. 3 p.m. on the West Coast, 6 p.m. local time for UCF and West Virginia. The Mountaineers travel to the swamps of beautiful Central Florida.
The West Virginia logo really does look like Mac. If he grow up, we got to get him. Colby, come on. Where's Mac's coonskin cap? Whatever the budget, we need him in that outfit at some point.
Yeah, actually, Mac. That's Mac's homework. Between now and March Madness, he needs to be more West Virginia. Lean into West Virginia.
I think he's got that covered.
Lean in. Well, he's got the apartment. Now he's just go trap something that you can turn the fur into a hat, Mac. Come on, show us you're a real one.
Yeah, Mac. We need. By the time you're in Vegas, we need you with less teeth.
Yes,
I don't mind him having teeth.
I do remember when I met Mac for the first time, how disappointed I was that he didn't chew tobacco. I'm like, what? I go, Mac, give me a plug. He's like, nah, I don't.
Well, because he even has the
what?
As someone who went to a school that has hillbillies and rednecks attending.
Yeah,
there's a certain way that the posture of a like a strong not a redneck, but someone from the country where like it's almost like they're always at attention. Now, generally, that posture pairs with having also that like permanent lipper in. Like the kind of person that whether or not they got a pouch in looks like they got a pouch in.
Yeah.
And Mac, even there's a little bit of that. And then there's no pouch.
I know. I
figured I kind of with you. I was a little surprised.
I told Colby, I'm like, do we need to bring our office spittoon for Mac? I assume. Oh, you're right. He probably travels with one. And I was shocked to find out no chaw for Mac.
I do have,
he makes up for it in his consumption of cold ones, but
yeah, I have. I don't know. It's been a while since I've mentioned this on the podcast, but the West Virginia used to host a rugby tournament towards the end of the year called the Chicken Tournament, and it was really more of a party than it was an actual rugby tournament. Anyway, one of the greatest souvenirs I picked up in college was a shirt that said, "We may not." It says West Virginia Rugby on the front, and on the back it says, "We may not go down in history, but we'll go down on your little sister." That's West Virginia.
Are you allowed to wear that shirt at home?
That shirt is here.
Yeah,
It's
migrated to the office.
It's like the drug paraphernalia. It has to stay in the office.
Hey, smoking my weed.
I can explain a lot of things. That would be a tricky one.
Yeah. What are we doing here, Colby? UCF laying 5.5 at home.
Weird road spot, right?
Let me sell the game. West Virginia is in a desperate spot. If they can get a marquee Big 12 win. They have the win at home against Kansas. They need another marquee win, and I think that this game could actually move the needle because I think UCF's soundly in the NCAA tournament right now, despite their recent struggles. But the problem is, I don't trust West Virginia on the road. They struggle to score in general, and then UCF, the way that they've lost two straight, and I've kind of hit on this a lot on this episode, I think, or on this show this season. They're one of the oldest teams in the country, so as much as I know West Virginia is desperate trying to get that win, I think UCF's the play here. Lay it.
Yeah, I mean, West Virginia has just not been good on the road. Maybe this number's a little high, but I'll take UCF laying the points.
They did just beat Cincinnati, a team that UCF just lost to. But yeah, you also have the idea of UCF coming home after a couple.
And free throw game, 7% difference between UCF and West Virginia.
It's almost
what
March.
more do you? What more do you
March.
need? What more do you need?
Which, by the way, if you, for those who have DM'd me for the first half under record,
yes,
say please, or I'm not going to send it to you. I do have it in Google Sheet form. Maybe I'll post an image. We'll see. I've already gotten a half dozen requests for that because apparently their buddies, like people who listen to the show, have friends that don't believe it. Anyway, yeah, we're all on UCF, yeah.
Yep, all on UCF. Hey, reminder, it's Valentine's Eve probably when you're listening to this, or 2 days before Valentine's Day. Still time to get your wife or girlfriend a Valentine's gift they'll actually care about. Chocolates, flowers, they don't make you feel safe, secure. They throw those out. Flowers are good for what? 3-4 days? Imagine a brand new door from West Shore Home. It makes your house look better, feel better, stay warmer. Come on, flowers, chocolates, they can't do that. and a door. It's going to be around forever. And look at these
strong
door.
doors. That's a strong.
That's
You
a
keep
strong,
on knocking, but you can't come in, right?
Yeah. Look at those. Look at those beautiful locks. We on the Sports Gambling Podcast love a good lock, love a good back door. West Shore has you covered. Go to offers.westshorehome.com/SGPN. The perfect Valentine's Day gift. I was wrong. This is something they'll actually love. Offers.westshorehome.com/SGPN.
Not a bit. I got a response from the wife about the door situation. So it seems like I could be getting lucky on Valentine's Day.
Nice.
We'll see. I don't think the the metaphorical installation should be interesting. Next up, a couple games to go here. Texas Tech, Arizona laying 8.5 here in Tucson. 3:30 p.m. on the West Coast. I believe not too far from where some of the airspace was closed. There's some conflicting reports whether it was cartel drones or perhaps some sort of unidentified flying object. Colby, Arizona's the obvious spot here, right?
Yeah. I mean, this is one of the best home court environments. Texas Tech
Bounce back.
Obviously, Texas Tech has had some nice wins away from Lubbock, the main one against Duke in the Garden. But I mean, this is the bounce back spot for Arizona. They lost that game. They're going to be super pissed. David Mottola, he's out of the Applebee's in Yuma. He's going to this game and he's slid into my DMs like he's like one of those West Shore sliding doors. Yes. And he let me know that Arizona is the play here. So we have to load up on these Wildcats. I think Texas Tech. Look, the Texas Tech, that win against Duke was a neutral site game. Even though we know Duke's, the Garden's normally a Duke crowd, I still think this is going to be their hardest environment they've faced yet this season. So I will take the Wildcats, and just the spot of Arizona losing in the way they did. I just think it's just a bad spot for Texas Tech.
You got to take Arizona off their first loss. Now the counter is this Texas Tech team is pretty good, and 8.5 points is a lot, but feels like Arizona is just going to go nuts here at home. I mean, I don't want to get in front of this Arizona team after a loss.
You guys were very silly to take Colorado with the points.
We were.
In their last
that was
effort.
A mistake.
I was correct in my handicap. Also, this is one where you parlay Arizona with Texas Tech in their next game when they are coming off a loss and they beat the shit out of Arizona State. That's my prediction.
Probably beat up on.
Lay the points with Arizona. Oh, we're talking more about some shocks of weed here with Wichita State and Tulsa. 4 p.m. on the West Coast. Wichita State laying 2.5. Back-to-back shocker games. What gives, Colby?
Oh, dude! If you watched the game last night against South Florida, they were up majority of that game, and down the stretch they got tight, and South Florida was able to stick it to them. But here's the thing:
never in doubt,
and they lost to UAB.
Never in doubt.
Yeah, Tulsa lost to UAB, and that one kind of makes sense. I actually called for UAB on the money line on our show because this is a rivalry game, and Tulsa was looking ahead. Now, I probably should have had that handicap for Wichita. I just thought it was going to be the biggest game Wichita has ever played in the conference, and the crowd showed up. The team did not, especially in the second half. Great adjustments by South Florida, but
I like how Colby correct. I was right. The crowd was there. The players, they sucked.
Yeah, well, the crowd had been dull in like the past couple of years, man. So they like that.
No, I was on Wichita State. Yeah.
But this so right now, South Florida, who just beat Wichita, now is remaining in first place. They have a 1-game lead over Tulsa, kind of a 1.5 game lead because they have the tiebreaker over Tulsa. But Wichita State is 2 games back now. I still think Wichita has the nicest schedule if they can just take care of home court. They play Tulsa, they play Temple, right? I think they can. They have the easiest ride there if they can just seize the day. So I look. They played earlier this year, in whatever I forget the name of their new stadium or whatever they renamed it, but Tulsa beat them by 10, and it was like a second half. Boom, they took it to them. I think Wichita answers the call. I think Wichita is going to beat Tulsa here. Tulsa will go for 3 straight losses. Come on, Shockers. This is your opportunity to win the conference. Get your shit together. Give me the Shockers to take down Tulsa. And they're the better defensive team. Honestly, that's I think the big handicap there, especially with that crowd momentum behind them. They should be able to correct what they did wrong the other night.
And quick reminder that they really wanted to be the Golden Tornadoes, which would make more sense for their location. But they found out that Georgia Tech already had that name, so they became the Golden Hurricanes.
They didn't even use it.
But also, like, when's the last time Tulsa got hit with a hurricane? What are we doing here? Give me Wichita State as well.
Yeah, Tulsa is way better at the line, but all right, Wichita. God, they were so annoyed about that game last night. But I'm with you guys. I'll take Wichita.
Yeah, I was on South Florida. It was not too surprising for me.
Great handicapping.
Memphis taking on Utah State in Logan, Utah. 7 p.m. local time there in the Mountain Time Zone. Utah State laying 9.5. So Utah State, what used to be named Utah A&M or something like that.
Yeah. Well, this one's fascinating because as you guys should be aware of, they're not in the same conference. This is something they scheduled thinking that Memphis and Utah State are always two teams that are legit group of 5 teams that spend like it too. Let's schedule a late non-con game to try to boost our resumes. The problem is Memphis hasn't been that good this year, but I will say this: they're hot right now. They've been playing a lot better ball in the final in like the past 2 or 3 weeks. That Charlotte was a contender still is a contender to win that conference. They drilled Charlotte by 23. They took down UAB at UAB in the Battle of the Bones there on the hardwood, and then they got Florida Atlantic the game prior to that, actually they lost to Tulane, but 3 of 4 against good teams they've gotten. So they've kind of woken up a little bit. And on the other side of things, Utah State's just been incredible. They've won 6 straight. This environment, I think, is one of the toughest environments in all of college basketball. What do we say this line is? We're calling this at 9.5. Give me the points in Memphis.
I think it's going to be higher, but I think this is a tough spot for Memphis because they have a game tonight. At North Texas, and then you're traveling up to Utah State, dealing with that Logan elevation. I think Utah State rolls. Give me Utah State laying the 9.5.
Also, what they did to themselves in creating this extra game was 3 straight road games as well.
They played tonight actually in Denton.
So
Against North Texas.
North Texas, then Utah State on the road. Then
I think that quick turnaround at elevation is going to be tough for Memphis.
Well, they have Thursday North Texas, Saturday Utah State, and then next Thursday down in South Florida. And
here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Penny Hardaway as a dog has been awesome. When he's a heavy dog, they've been awesome. When he's a favorite at any time, he's terrible. I think Memphis. We know they got athletes. I think they can stay within this number. So I'll take Memphis even in this crazy environment to stay within this number. Utah State wins the game, but give me Memphis to do enough to stay in this game.
Give me Utah State. I love the Memphis logo there. And I was, man, again, if you're a young person, you really got to Google or go on YouTube and type in Lil Penny.
Lil Penny.
Very, very good stuff. Shout out to Chris Rock. Auburn, Arkansas in Fayetteville, 5:30 p.m. on the West Coast. That Auburn, Colby's brought back the Auburn Tiger that looks like it just got done with some backdoor activities.
It's smoking my weed.
He looks really high.
I was thinking something a little different. It's going light in the loafers, not light in the head. Arkansas, meanwhile, if you come across a wild boar like that, what do you think you should do?
Run.
Colby?
Avoid him.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to what, we don't have weapons. We don't have weapons. I think I'd run too, but
unless you have
climb a tree. Climb a tree
is the right answer. Yeah. That thing will catch you and make you look like a fucking asshole. I had some rugby buddies take a South African trip where they were attacked by some giant wild boar. Sounded pretty terrifying. Anyway, are we how are we feeling about Bruce Pearl's kid? Almost towards the end of the season here.
Well, that was a devastating loss at home to Vanderbilt the other day. But he has had some nice get up spots. When they won at Florida, they stuck it to Florida. They were like wire to wire. And Arkansas is classic like Calipari. They're incredibly young. They have moments where they look incredibly young, but there's moments where they look incredibly awesome. But they've struggled with consistency. I'll say this. Auburn's proven to me on the road that they can do some damage. So I will take Auburn in the points here. Arkansas is coming off like a 30-point win on the road at LSU. Consistency's been an issue. Yeah. What's that?
I think they're locked in since Calipari got embarrassed by Kentucky. And I think that we might look back at that as a turning point. And it also seems like Bruce Pearl's kid. He hasn't earned the right to have a name yet. Maybe he peaked a little early. Maybe the coaching is catching up with him here. So give me some of that sweet Arkansas home pig suey.
Yeah, I'm going to go Auburn. I'm with Colby. I think this Auburn team
needs it more too. Auburn,
very
desperate team. Yeah,
very desperate team. I think they keep this a game 5.5, whatever it ends up opening as. I think it's going to be a little bit closer. So yeah, I'll take Auburn in the points.
Something to note in watching this one, Auburn needs to shoot a lot of free throws generally. And that's something Arkansas has been doing better towards the end of the season, is keeping people off the line. So something to pay attention to there. Last one, Gonzaga, which Colby, where do you rate the Portland court storm on Gonzaga? A little bit on it wasn't quite. Who was the team last year or 2 years ago?
Like
or just one
guy? That was Detroit Mercy.
Oh, that's right.
That was their only win of the season, I feel like.
And the one guy did like a hezzy before he even.
He's like, "Do I storm? Okay, I'm storming."
So yeah, Gonzaga laying 2.5 here at Santa Clara, 7:30 p.m. on the West Coast. Yeah, Gonzaga losing to Portland broke all sorts of crazy streaks for Gonzaga.
They were like 24-point favorites or something.
I know.
So, yeah,
like how does that happen?
Well, here's how it happens: is like Graham Ike's not been healthy. Now we cashed the underdog thing with him, but he's playing a lot healthier now. Braden Huff's been out for them, and guess what? Braden Huff is a game time decision for this particular game. And I gotta give it to Santa Clara because I was on Seattle. I thought Seattle covered, I guess the number, but I thought they were live on the money line with the look ahead spot. And Herb Sendek, Santa Clara's in first place. They're in first place, man. This Zags team, the Huff thing is huge because if he plays, how healthy is he? This guy's been out for a while, man. And I do think if they don't have him, I think Santa Clara's the better team right now. This place should be lit too. So I know historically Santa Clara always loses this game, but I feel like this is the best team they've ever had, or at least since like the 50s.
It's their chance to get them
undefeated at home this year, Colby.
Yeah, I'll take a shot on this. Let's go. I mean, especially knowing that Huff hasn't played. And when's the last time he played a game? Let me see if I can. It's been a while. Let me see if I can give you that nugget there, but he hasn't played since January 8th.
Yeah, it has been a while. So even if he's back, how back is he?
Yeah, I think that's your handicap right there.
The last time he played was against Santa Clara.
I'm with you. Santa Clara plus 2.5. Let's go. Kramer.
Yeah, cosign. They haven't lost at home. Let's lean into that.
Let's go. All right. Time for 3 locks and a dog. The locks, of course, are courtesy of West Shore Home. Offers.westshorehome.com/SGPN. Let them know we sent you. Get a new lock in your brand new door. Colby, what do you got?
Well, let's start by let's lock up Iowa State against Kansas.
Love it.
Oh wow.
Let's lock up the Pussy Pack of NC State against Miami.
Oh no.
Love it.
Put a red flag next to that one.
Let's lock up I'm on a lot of favorites this
you guys are agreeing
episode
with me on a lot of these picks.
Let's lock up Memphis in the points at Utah State.
Feels a little cute.
And the dog to win outright. What do I got here? Let's see. I don't have that many dogs, so
you're in a good spot if that's the case, Colby. You really don't have a lot of dogs.
Yeah, I will take. I mean, because I don't want one of these yappers. You know, I want.
No,
real,
you want
I
a
want
big
some
dog?
real.
You don't have too many big dogs, Colby.
Yeah, I know. That's why I think give me Auburn. Auburn it will beat. Because Creighton is the obvious one, but what is that? Plus 3.5. What's that going to be?
Yeah, come on. It's a little yapper.
Win's a win, Colby.
You got to go for the glory, Kramer. Right?
Colby
Right,
Colby must have seen my sheet because I'm in lockstep.
Really?
Well, close. NC State -5.5. Oklahoma State -2.5. It's these court storming fades, bounce back spots.
Got it.
Iowa State -3.5, and the dog is Auburn on the money line. Kramer, what do you got?
Arizona bounce back spot.
Also good.
Iowa plus the points.
Like that.
And Arkansas focused as hell going against you two idiots.
Don't like that one.
Dog?
Yes.
Fuck Duke. Give me Clemson.
Clemson on the money line.
Hey, come on, it was there for you. I could have taken Santa Clara, but I also don't want a yapper.
Do we do a Clemson Auburn money line parlay?
You can. I'm not interested.
Okay. Oh yeah, because that's right. You're in Arkansas.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, good times, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. As always, big thanks to our presenting sponsor, West Shore Home. Offers.westshorehome.com/SGPN. Appreciate them having a good sense of humor about my previous antics. And check out Colby Dant, the college experience. We will be back tomorrow night live from the Circa in downtown Las Vegas, 7:00 Pacific. You can get that on Sirius XM, channel 158, YouTube TV, wherever you get your VSiN.
Yes.
And of course, answered all your questions and comments over on Spotify. And
thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, second the money green. He's Ryan.
A happy Valentine's Day.
Kramer, let it ride.
Okay, are you ready, honey? Happy Valentine's Day.
Is that a brand new door from West Shore Home?
Sure is.
How did you do this?
It's installed in as little as 1 day with 12 months, no interest, and no payments.
Did you say 12 months?
No interest, no payments.
Oh my God!
Wah, 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 wah.